production process duration means what is the time taken by the production house to convert the raw material into a finished product. With the help of routing and scheduling, we will be able to ensure that the workers are in place and whatever they needed for the production, everything is in place. Long lead time can result in delays in production, while short lead time can lead to inventory shortages or increase the cost. Hello everyone, I'm Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all to this session. In this Unit 3 of this subject, that is Production and Operations Management, we will be studying about production planning and control. So let us understand what is the meaning of production planning and control. So it is a strategy to plan a chain of operations that supports manufacturers to be at the right place and at the right time. So production planning is done to support the manufacturers to be at the right place and at the right time. It helps them to achieve most efficiency from their resources. It also includes activities of other departments such as sales, marketing and procurement. So when we think about production planning and control, it also includes the activity of sales. Why we say it includes the activity of sales? Because until and unless we have produced the goods, we cannot have sales. Then it also includes marketing. So until and unless the goods are produced and marketed, only then it can be sold. And also the procurement. So procurement of raw materials, whatever is needed for production. So all these activities are involved in the production function itself. Then production planning and control manages and schedules the allocation of human resources, raw materials, work centers, machinery and the production processes. So depending on the type of products which are being produced in the organization, there will be an allocation of the raw materials, allocation of the human resources, machinery and the processes. It finds the most efficient way to produce finished goods with the lead times needed to meet production demand. So with the proper planning and control, we will be able to see that whatever is the demand for the product, it can be met on time. Production planning and control are the two strategies that work cohesively in manufacturing. So a manufacturing sector, we need to have proper production planning and control. Otherwise, we cannot just run the production house. So it involves what to produce, when to produce, how much to produce and more. So what is that you are producing in the production house, when you are producing and how you are producing. So it also ensures optimum performance from the production system by using different control techniques for better throughput targets. So whatever the targets are, they have to be finished on time. So in order to meet the targets, we need to have proper production planning and control. Then next one is production planning for manufacturers. So work smarter by efficiently managing internal resources to meet the customer orders or demands. So whatever the internal resources of the organization, they are put to the best use in order to see that the customer's demands are met. It solves what, when and how much to produce. So with the help of production planning, we will be able to plan for how much to produce, what to produce and when to produce the products. It establishes production capacity and identifies what raw materials, bill of materials or alternate bill of materials are needed to meet the demand. Then it provides a workable production plan. So whenever we are having a production planning, it all depends on the sales forecast. So what is the customer feedback you are collecting from the customer, and depending on that we will be forecasting for the next year. So depending on the sales forecast, we will be making the production plans, and as a result of which we will be able to see what are the raw materials needed, what are the various other resources needed in order to see that we have the needed goods which will meet the demand of the customer. So it monitors production and measures performance, providing visibility and reporting. So with the help of this production planning, so only if we are having planning, we can have a control. So that is why we say that planning and controlling are the Siamese twins of management. So wherever there is planning, there has to be controlling. Now, production control monitors the production. So monitoring the production will be done only if you have a plan for production. If there is no plan, how will you monitor the production? So we have to monitor in order to see that the production is as per the plans and measures the performance. So what is the planned performance and what is the actual performance that will be measured here? Providing visibility and reporting. So providing visibility and reporting means actually what is being done. So whether the plans are being implemented as per the plans, etc., that will be taken care of, and reporting. So at regular intervals, the production house has to report to the top level or to their higher level management about what is going on, what is the status of production. So all this will be done only with proper planning and control. If any corrective action is needed, it gets initiated with production control. So for any corrective action, only with the help of production control it is possible. So it includes different control techniques to achieve optimal levels of production performance. So with the help of different techniques of control, we will be able to reach the optimum levels of production. So what are the benefits of production planning and control? Now in this, the first one is optimized manufacturing capacity. Now what is this optimized manufacturing capacity? It means that you use the plant capacity to the fullest extent. So there is no idle time for machinery or there is no idle time for the labor also. It ensures machines and employees work to the capacity. So whatever is the efficiency of the employees and the machinery, they have to be put to the fullest use. So that keeps stock costs down, increases efficiency and provides greater profitability. So we will be able to see that it will increase the efficiency of the human labor, it will increase the efficiency of the machines and also provides greater profitability to the organization. It helps to identify areas of improvement and to plan for the growth of the organization. So what are the areas of growth and where the organization has to improve? All this will be possible with the help of production planning and control. Then second one is reduced inventory cost. So what is this reduced inventory cost? So cut down on the stock of inventory. So it allows manufacturers to only hold the necessary inventory. Whatever is the most essential raw material, only that can be purchased by the organization. So in this way, we can ensure that the funds are not locked up in purchase of the stock of raw material. The software can predict demand and have a just-in-time scheduling strategy. Without a surplus of inventory, costs are kept low. So in case you need to have a large stock of inventory, then you need more funds to purchase the inventory and keep it in stock. But suppose you have the just-in-time technology, so wherein the software will decide exactly what is the amount of when you need the raw materials. So with the help of that, you can just purchase the raw materials in time, and in this way you can keep the inventory cost as low as possible. Then on-time deliveries. So it helps to ensure production optimization and prompt deliveries. So we can have optimum production and the deliveries will be as per the schedule. Getting products to their destination on time improves customer satisfaction, that increases customer retention and reference. So when you are producing and delivering the goods on time, so it increases the customer satisfaction as well as customer retention. When there is a word of this kind of a production house is giving materials on time, then that will be a viral marketing for the organization. Then What are the other benefits of planning and control? Better procurement of materials. It shows when materials should be purchased for production. So when do you exactly need the materials for production? That can be known with the help of planning, and having this information helps us to know when to order, what is needed to meet the customer and the production demand. Knowing when to order lets procurement buy in advance to find the best deal. This also helps to save money and improves relationship with the suppliers. So you should know exactly when you need to have an order of the stock of raw materials. So when you know when to order, then you can also try to get the best deal, and in this way you can save the money and also improve the relationship with the suppliers. Streamlined production processes. Now what is this streamlined production processes? It ensures that materials and internal resources for production are ready when needed and shows what capacity is available and when. So the internal resources for production are ready. So it will tell us when the resources are ready and when needed, and shows what capacity is available and when. So this keeps the production running smoothly. It helps employee satisfaction as it eliminates frustration from interruptions in production and workflows. So knowing exactly when all the internal resources are ready, then you can always send in the labor and get the work done. So there will be a smooth flow of production, and when you have a smooth flow of production, you can ensure that the employee is satisfied because there will be no interruptions in the production flow. Then the next one is minimum resource waste. What is this minimum resource waste? It eliminates material shortages or surpluses for less resource waste. So you can ensure that there is a minimum, the wastage of resources is kept to the minimum. It lessens employee time wasted. Capital is not tied up in the inventory that is not used. There is less production waste because delays that cause discarded materials get eliminated. So when you have the minimum resource waste, then you can also see that there is a cutting down in the cost of the materials. So then what happens is, when there are no delays in the production, then even the discarding of this waste can be reduced. So in this way we can make use of the optimum utilization of the material resources. Then next, let us understand what are the characteristics of production planning and control. What are the features of production planning and control? So it is the planning and control of the manufacturing processes in an enterprise. So it answers questions: what is to be manufactured, when it is to be manufactured, how to keep the schedule of production, all are decided and acted upon for getting the good result. So in this production planning and control, it answers three important questions, that is, what is to be planned, when it is to be planned, how it is to be produced. So all these are the most important questions which will be answered in production planning and control. Then all types of inputs like materials, men, machines are efficiently used for maintaining efficiency of the manufacturing process. So we can ensure that there is efficient manufacturing process with the help of proper use of materials, men and machines. So various factors of production are integrated to use them efficiently and economically. So the help of the various factors of production, we will be able to make use of them efficiently and economically. The manufacturing process is organized in such a way that none of the work centers is either overworked or underworked. So you have to plan it in such a way that the process is neither overworked or underworked. So the division work is undertaken very carefully so that every available element is properly utilized. So we have to take care to see that no part of the production process is overworked or underworked, and also every element is properly utilized in the production house. The work is regulated from the first stage of procuring raw materials to the stage of finished goods. So there is proper regulation of work in the production house. Then next is the steps in production planning and control. So what are the various steps involved in production planning and control? The first stage is the planning stage. So what do we mean by planning? Planning is nothing but deciding today what you want to do in the future. So the same way in the production planning, planning determines what will be produced by whom and how. So it formulates the plan for labor, equipment, work centers, material requirements needed for production. So with the help of planning, we can ensure that whatever are needed for production, everything will be planned and decided in advance, and then only the production will take place. So the relevant information from various sources helps to develop a production plan. So we all know that planning can be done only with the available data. If you are getting all whatever data you need for the plan, then that will be very good for the production plan. For instance, data from sales on order quantities and promised delivery dates. So what are the sales which we are having, and what is the date in which the products have to be just delivered? So if we can know this, then we can have a proper production plan based on that. Product specifications from the engineering department may also be needed. The planning step helps to keep a streamlined approach to the production process. So with the help of the planning step, we will be able to know what is the kind of production, what is the product we are producing, and also we can see that there is a flow of production with the help of the production plan. Then the next step in the production planning is routing. Now, what do we mean by routing? Routing determines the path the raw materials flow within the factory. So, what is the path taken by the raw materials within the factory? That we call it as routing. Using the sequence, raw materials are transformed into the finished goods. So, with the help of the sequence, we will be able to see that whatever raw materials we have introduced into the machinery, it gets converted into a finished product. Coordinating every production process and scheduling every step is important to measure the production process duration. So, production process duration means what is the time taken by the production house to convert the raw material into a finished product. So, routing, with the help of coordination and proper routing, we will be able to ensure that there is no time wasted in the production cycle. So, routing shows the quantity and quality of materials and the resources needed. So, it will show us what is exact quantity of raw materials needed and what is the human resources needed. It also shows the operations used and the place of production. So, what are the various operations which are in use for production and also the places of production? It manages the how, what, how much and where of production. It systematizes the processes and optimizes resources for the best results. So, with the help of routing, we will be able to ensure that there is an optimum utilization of the resources. Then, third one is scheduling. Scheduling emphasizes when the operation will be completed. It aims to make the most of the time given for the completion of the operation. So, with the help of scheduling, we will be able to know when the process of production will be completed. So, as per Kimball and Kimball, the definition of scheduling is the determination of the time that should be required to perform the entire series as routed, making allowance for all factors concerned. So, you should ensure that along with the flow of raw materials, there should be a flow of other factors also. It may be the human factor and it may be the other factors which will be involved in the production house. So, organizations use different types of schedules to manage the time element. These include master schedule, operation schedule, daily schedule, and more. So, with the help of the master schedule and operation schedule, daily schedule, we will be able to schedule the production process. Then, the fourth step in the production process is loading. Loading looks into the amount of work loaded against the machines or the workers. So, loading means you are deciding what is the work to be done by deciding the machine work and the men's work. So, what is the work expected of the machine and what is the work each man have to do on the machine. The total time to perform new work is added to the work already scheduled for the machine or the workstation. So, if the machine or workstation has capacity available, more orders can make up the underload. So, if the machine capacity is more, then you can go in for more production on that particular plant. So, if there is a capacity of overload, proactive measures can prevent the bottleneck. So, in order to see that there is the optimum utilization of the resources, you need to have a proper loading of the machine. Adding a shift, requesting overtime, bringing in operators from another shop, or using a subcontractor. So, these are the possible options. So, if any of the machines are overloaded, then there are various solutions for that. What are the various solutions? So, with the help of a shift, you can just try to reduce the load or requesting overtime. So, try to see that there is overtime for workers and also bringing in operators from other shop and also use the subcontractors option. So, in this way, we can reduce overloading of the machines. Then, the fifth step in the production and control is dispatching. Now, what do we mean by dispatching? It is the release of orders and their instructions. So, what is the release of the order and instructions? You are giving the orders to the various workers and also the machine operators to operate the machine. So, giving them orders and instructions to start the actual production process. It follows the routing and scheduling directions. It ensures all items are in place for the employees to do their jobs. So, with the help of routing and scheduling, we will be able to ensure that the workers are in place and whatever they needed for the production, everything is in place. So, here are the points that are part of the dispatching. So, what are the various elements included in dispatching? First one is issue of materials or fixtures that are important for production. So, this is essential. Second one, issue orders or drawings for initiating the work. So, what kind of orders are needed and what kind of drawings are needed for the work that should be issued. Maintain the records from start to finish. So, what are the records available from the start to the finish that should be done? Start the control procedure. So, as and when the production process starts operation, immediately we have to start with the control procedure, cascade the work from one process to another. So, in order to see that, just see that there is a smooth transition from one work to another. So, all this will be in the dispatching step. Then the next one and the most important one is the follow-up. So, also known as expediting, follow-up locates faults or defects, bottlenecks and loopholes in the production process. So, when you are having a proper plan, it is essential for us to follow up with the plans, whether the work is going as per the schedule. So, when we are having this follow-up, so we will be able to know whether there is any fault in the work done, whether there is any defect in production, whether there is any loopholes in the production process. In this step, the team measures the actual performance from the start until the end and compares it with the expected performance. So, in the follow-up step, we will be just measuring what is the actual performance with the expected performance. So, comparison with the standard. So, areas that have problems must get addressed Follow-up gets to the root of the issue and helps resolve it. So when there are any problems, so you have to see why the problems have erupted and what is the solution to each of the problem. For instance, if schedules are not met, is it from unusual circumstance or is it something that needs to get adjusted? So if the products are not delivered as per the schedule, then what is the reason for the delay? That has to be investigated and it should be taken care of. The production manager may need to revise production targets, loads or schedules to correct the issue. So he has to take care and see that the products are delivered as per the schedule. Then the next one is the types of production planning. So what are the different types of production planning? So first one is the master production schedule. Now what is this master production schedule? It is a plan that tells when the production will begin, for what products, at what time and in what quantities. The purpose of this is to create a realistic plan to ensure on-time delivery of goods while minimizing the overstock. So the master production schedule will ensure, it will tell us when to produce, how to produce and what to produce, and also it will make a realistic plan to ensure that the products are delivered on time and there is minimizing of overstock. So you should not see that there is an overstock of goods. So when there is an overstock of goods, again you have to see that the stock gets sold very soon so that you can get back the revenue. So the next one is materials requirement planning. So what is this materials requirement planning? It ensures availability of raw materials, maintains the lowest possible stock level, promotes inventory control and helps to plan the purchasing activity. So materials should be there in the organization. So that does not mean that you have to have a huge stock of materials. You have to ensure that there is the lowest possible stock level and inventory control, and we should have a planned purchasing activity. Then capacity planning. It is the process of determining production capacity to meet the customer's orders, changing demand of the product. So it aims to strike a balance between expenses and resources as well as the demand and the supply. So depending on the demand for goods, the supply should be planned. Then the next one, workflow planning. It is a sequence of operations performed during the production process. So workflow planning is how the production will actually take place. So that is the sequence will be planned here. It allows you to track each item's work and who is responsible for the task and its completion. It helps to check the status of the task. So with the help of workflow planning, you will be able to fix the responsibility at each stage of the work, and also you can see the status of the materials at each stage. So this is possible with the help of workflow planning. Then the next one, production planning tools. So what are the various production planning tools which are necessary for the production planning? So the manufacturers rely on multiple tools to prepare the production plan and track the process, such as charts, spreadsheets, or visualization software, etc. So they need the chart, spreadsheet and the visualization chart. Instead of investing in multiple tools, a single ERP solution can help you plan production and use production control strategy to ensure that the plant flow is performing well. Now, what is this ERP? It means the Enterprise Resource Planning. Enterprise Resource Planning is a software which offers real-time visibility that helps decision makers understand variances, eliminate waste, ramp up production, and improve the transparency within the organization. So with the help of the ERP, we will be able to see, it will help the decision makers understand the variances. So what are the variances in the supply of raw materials, finished goods or anything, and eliminate the waste, ramp up the production. So it will expedite the production and improve transparency within the organization. With the help of this ERP, we will be able to achieve all this. It means updating a job status easy, as it can be done on the mobile devices without leaving the workstation. So with the help of the ERP, we will be able to ensure that there is a very good smooth flow of production in the production house. Next, what is the benefits of ERP in production planning? So it ensures automated workflow which eliminates repetitive tasks such as data entry. It helps manufacturers plan, execute, and control production while integrating the operations into the business processes. So with the help of this ERP planning, we will be able to plan, execute, and control production while integrating the operations into other business processes. It has inbuilt material requirement planning, which ensures minimum stock and risk for holding extra inventory. So with the help of material requirement planning, we can ensure that what is the optimum level of stock needed for the particular production. So it will ensure efficient and streamlined manufacturing processes. Then, what are the objectives of production planning and control? So why it is essential to have production planning and control? So it is necessity for manufacturing facilities around the globe that are seeking to maintain a competitive advantage in the market. So if you need to have a competitive advantage, it is best to have production planning and control. It is used to describe two essential components of manufacturing, that is production planning and production control. So both are most essential for any manufacturing house. So the production planning portion handles the activities necessary before the production actually begins. So it handles what are those activities which are necessary before the production takes place only. It will just tell us, such as material planning, capacity planning, and operations scheduling. The production control portion oversees the actual production process by ensuring the production team is able to meet the production targets and operating according to the schedule. So in the first step, we will be planning for the production. So in the production planning, we will be having the material plan, capacity plan, and operation scheduling. And in the control function, we will be able to just compare the actual with the standard. So whatever standard has been planned, so we will be just measuring the actual work done with the standards. Then the next one is the continuous flow of production. So one of the primary objectives of planning and control is the continuous flow of production through the production facility. So continuous flow and the process improvement is one of the integral concepts of lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, and overall production enhancement. So it will attempt to achieve a smooth and continuous production process by eliminating bottlenecks and waste from your facility, which allows you to take your production to the next level in terms of productivity. So by reducing all wastages and by making everything available on time, with this we can ensure that there is continuous flow of productivity in the organization. Planned requirements. The production planning component and control is essential to ensure that the production facility has what it needs in the right amount and at the right time. So in addition to the stock of raw materials, we need certain other spare parts or certain other tools also which are necessary, and it will be the duty of the production planning department to ensure that all these materials are also available at the right time and at the right quantity. So it ensures that you have enough material, machines, tools, equipments, and manpower to perform the work. Optimum inventory levels. So what is this optimal inventory levels? So inventory is often considered to be wasteful within manufacturing operations. So because inventory related costs are some of the largest incurred for many operations. So whatever you are holding as the inventory, so that will be the cost which will be the major holding cost for the company. So this is why we should aim to reduce inventory levels as much as to adequately cut costs within your operations. So it will execute the processes that allows you consistent flow of production to ultimately come closer to the just-in-time manufacturing and reducing inventory levels within the manufacturing operations. So when we have this kind of a optimal inventory levels, so you will be able to just exactly calculate what is the stock of raw materials you need, and just when it is getting over, you are having one more stock in order to ensure that there is no break in the production flow. So we have to ensure optimal inventory levels, then increased productivity. It is another substantial objective within the production planning and control. So it ultimately aims to increase productivity through efficiency enhancement while also being economical. So when you are reducing the waste, so automatically the productivity will increase. So it is successfully achieved by optimizing the use of the existing production resources, labor resources, while eliminating wastage and spoilage of the materials. Then the final objective of production planning and control is the ultimate customer satisfaction. All companies want to increase customer satisfaction because demand is driven by the customers, and happy customers means more business in the future. So having defective products and having delays will only be harmful to the customers. So when the products are defective and if you are not delivering on time, then you may lose the customers. Then other objectives of production planning are to deliver quality goods in required quantities to the customer in the required delivery schedule to achieve maximum customer satisfaction and minimum possible cost. Then to ensure maximum utilization of all the resources which are necessary to ensure production of quality products. The quality should not be compromised, to minimize the product throughput time or the production cycle. So to reduce the production cycle, that is the time taken by the raw materials to get converted into the finished product, should be as low as possible. To maintain optimum inventory levels, to ensure that there is optimum inventory levels, to maintain flexibility in manufacturing operations. So whenever the products are changed, then you have to change the setup of the plant layout. So it should be flexible enough to coordinate between labor and machines and various supporting departments, to plan for plant capacities for future requirements, to remove bottlenecks or all stages of production and solve problems related to production. Then the other objectives are to ensure effective cost reduction and cost control. So this is the major objective of production planning and control, to prepare production schedules and ensure that promised delivery dates are met. So whatever the dates they have taken, so the supply should be as per the specification, and to produce effective results for the least total cost, to establish routes and schedules for work that will ensure optimum utilization of resources, labor, equipments and machines, and to provide the means for ensuring the operation of the plant in accordance with the plans. So as per the plans, so everything has to be done, and ultimate objective is to contribute to the profits of the enterprise. So only with the help of the production house, the organization will be able to earn the revenue to the company. Then the three stages in production. First one is the planning stage, choosing the best course of action among the various alternatives. In the operations, we have execution as per the plan, and in the control, maintaining the performance standards set and taking appropriate corrective action if necessary. So, if there is any variance, try to see that we can conform to the plans. Then, what are the factors affecting the production planning? So, first one is demand variability. Fluctuations in demand for a product or service can have an impact on production planning. Sudden changes in demand can result in overproduction or underproduction, which can impact the availability and also result in lost sales or excessive inventory. So, if there is a sudden change in the demand, then what happens? There may be overproduction or underproduction. So, if there is overproduction, then what happens? You will have excessive inventory in stock, and if there is underproduction, there may be loss in the sales. Then resource availability. The availability of resources such as raw materials, labor and equipment can also impact production planning. So, limited availability or unexpected disruptions to the supply can impact production capacity and lead to delays or increased costs. So, with the resource availability should be ensured when you are planning for production. Then the production capacity, it is the maximum amount of output the business can produce in a given period. It must take into account the available production capacity to ensure that the business can meet the demand. Then the lead times, they are the amount of time it takes to receive raw materials or the finished goods from the suppliers. So, it is called as the lead time. Long lead time can result in delays in production, while short lead time can lead to inventory shortages or increase the cost. So, cost of production is another important factor. Businesses must consider the cost of raw materials and equipments when planning the production to ensure production remains profitable. So, the pricing of the product, the major factor which goes into pricing is the actual cost of the product. So, in order to keep the cost as low as possible, we have to reduce the cost of production. Then, the next is technology and automation. The use of technology can impact by increasing the efficiency and reducing the labor cost. So, you can increase the efficiency and reduce the labor cost. However, the implementation of new technology or automation requires significant planning and investment. So, if you have to purchase new machinery or equipment or technology, so you need to do it with perfect planning because it involves huge investment. Production planning requires businesses to consider a range of factors including demand variability, resource availability, production capacity, lead time, cost of production, etc. So, when we manage these factors, businesses can optimize production planning and improve the overall efficiency and profitability. So, if you can perfectly plan for the production and control of the products, then we can ensure that there is profitability in the organization. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed it. Thank you.